board came to the table knowing that we had a pretty tight time frame and suggested that we do a pool plan with the design team and with us, the owner, Howard Hughes, at their office to see if that might help kind of pave the way for a clear direction into achieving that goal of starting on time.
Sometimes the design pool plan can be intimidating for design teams and owners because you're inviting the general contractor who traditionally isn't as involved in that process and basically allowing them to steer the wheel.
I was skeptical at first. I think the design team probably was too, because up until that point in my career, we had only used pool planning for construction during the construction phase with the GC and with the subcontractor. So we were kind of wondering how it was going to work with the design team. None of them had really been involved in anything like that.
The design pool plan process at the beginning stage, so we usually have a boot camp and we go through that and teach everybody, and Ashley Kohler does a great job of showing the benefit of design pool plan and what lean thinking can do for your project. And so you go through that process, but at the end of that, we get right into it.
And then, before you know it, everybody was standing up, everybody had their own color sticky notes, and we were all engaged covering, I think, every wall you had in that room with sticky notes, specifically pertaining to our project.
Usually, what people find out in that moment is, oh my goodness, we have a problem.
We realized pretty quick that we weren't going to make it. I mean, we were up against board obligations on when we needed to start construction. And that road was pretty muddy on how we were going to get there. So once we started the process of pool planning and putting those sticky notes actually on the board, you realize, you've got a line in the sand on when you need to start, and you're, 2 months, you've blown it by 2 months.
You really have to convey to them that, hey, this always happens. We always uncover issues in this process. That's the great benefit of design pool plan is we tackle the issues up front and we're able to solve them so that we don't experience the issues throughout the design process. And luckily, having very open-minded design team professionals and owners allows us to do that. And Howard Hughes and Shepley Bullfinch, they bought in up front and made the process really a dream.
We got probably 3 weeks worth of back and forth discussion and how are we going to do this done in a matter of like 6 hours in your office. So it really set the right tone, set the project off on the right foot. We started on time, so that was tangible value number one. And then since that session, I mean, I've applied pool planning in my life. We've incorporated it into our office, looking at different durations that we have up front, even before we get the design team involved. So tangible benefits for us is that message kind of trickles through and you wind up adopting those principles yourself.
It's become a standard operating process for us. I wouldn't just recommend it. I would, it's a part of our standard procedure. So it's going to happen on every one of our projects just to ensure that we hit our goals. It's the only way that we know how to schedule now.
We as construction professionals, we're good at scheduling, but I think that the construction industry and us at Horror Construction in particular are very skilled and equipped to lend our expertise to that process. And so we make the design team and the owner think about the design schedule in a different way than they probably were thinking previously.
We've done things so long the old-fashioned way that there's really no downside into trying this process. I can't think of one, and the potential upsides are endless.